APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Back with us again from dailythunder.com. 4 o'clock hour, Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live, 99.3 Talk FM on this Thursday. And we're talking hoops for a lot of this hour and the next, as this could be the last day of the NBA Finals if things go according to the way they've been going the last 3 or 4 days. The Heat and Oklahoma City playing Game 5 tonight in Miami. And, Miami would like to close it out without ever having to go back to Oklahoma City and that wild home court advantage.
I wouldn't want to.
No. If you're smart and motivated, which it seems like Miami is both, then you'd think the Heat would be ready to wrap this thing up. And we'll see if that can happen tonight. Right now, though, we got some basketball that we're going to talk about, some things going on here in East Texas, and a guy that knows a little bit about the league himself, the association, because he spent a lot of years in the NBA, and is with us right now from Longview, Texas, and then by way of that into the NBA and Baylor, and played for the Nets, the Celtics, the Hornets, the Rockets, the Cavs, and with us right now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us now from Longview, David Wesley. How you doing, David?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. What are you doing these days?
Well, I'm playing a lot of golf and getting fat.
And God bless you for both of them. That's okay. I like that. Are you still coaching with the Legends?
Yes, I coached the last 2 seasons with the Legends. Last year was a really good learning experience for me. I got to coach with Dale Harris, who's coached as long as there's been basketball. He actually knew Naismith, so
his hair's white enough. I believe it.
Yes, it is. But he's a good coach and full of knowledge. So it was a really good year for me to grow as a coach and learn some things I need to know.
So you think you're going to stick with this coaching career?
I do. I want to continue to grow and go out to the NBA summer league out in Vegas, and shake some hands and kiss some babies and figure out a way to get to the NBA.
Is that your goal ultimately, to be an NBA coach, or would you consider coaching in college or something like that?
No, I want to be an NBA coach. I want to be an NBA head coach. So I'm working my way there.
Very good. All right, let's talk a little bit. Have you been keeping up with the finals?
I've been keeping one eye on them. It's a very good series. It's 2 very good, exciting teams. A lot of talent on the floor. Man, there's so much talent out there. So I really thought Oklahoma City would win the series. But now that that's not happening, I would just like for them to prolong it.
What do you think happened there?
Well, it's their first trip, and maybe they weren't as ready as they appeared to be. Not to mention, the Miami Heat guys, they were there last year. They're hungry, and, it's just LeBron has really stepped his game up. He's not laying back and letting the game come in. He's taking the games over, and that's what they needed last year, and that's what he's doing this year, and that's made the difference in them winning as opposed to losing.
It seemed like it took him a long time to figure that out, but boy, here since about the middle of the Indiana series, LeBron has just decided he's just going to take this team and carry it on his shoulders. Yeah,
sometimes you do something and it works out really well, and you figure, oh, okay, that's good. I need to continue to do that. I think LeBron has done a lot of listening to, his own press, and that can be good and bad. And I think it's confused him for most of his career. And, he really just needs to listen to what's going on in his locker room and do what's right. And that's what he's doing now. And it's made the difference in his team being successful.
All right, Coach Wesley, I got to ask you, if you're coaching the Oklahoma City Thunder right now, what are you telling your team to get them ready for tonight's ball game?
Just go out there and play like we've been playing all season. We need to win a game, just this game. Let's worry about this game. And if they can get the game back to Oklahoma City, wow, that's gonna be interesting because they're good on the home floor. This is the first time I think they've lost 2 games in a row all season. So it's going to be tough to close them out. And, let's not worry about Game 6 and 7. Let's just get this game tonight, come out and play hard, play well, and let's decide it on the floor.
Based on what you've seen the last 3 games, do you think Oklahoma City can come back and win a ball game in Miami tonight?
I think so. I think they definitely can. They're a good team. They've got a lot of talent. I think they need Harden to step his game up. He's been kind of missing, and he's been their missing piece in this finals. He hasn't really played a very good series, but maybe he shows up tonight, gives them that extra push, and take some of the pressure off of their big 2 scorers.
I was going to ask you again, from a coaching perspective, what would you do to try to get Harden going, because he's just been MIA in this series?
Well, the thing that I think has been so good for Harden is he plays well off the ball, he moves well without the ball, and he's able to get his scoring going just off of opportunities, getting out in transition, hitting the swing pass. But maybe you need to run more plays for him, and kind of get him going, get him some layups, get him some touches, where he can go in and score. But they've definitely neutralized him. But I think I'd probably run a few more plays for him, kind of get him more involved, and hopefully he can start attacking the basket like he does, and making some shots and getting some confidence.
And as far as Durant is concerned, such a spectacular player, but it seems like he's not aggressive enough in that he won't take over. He's like LeBron in that he just will not take over a ball game. He won't demand the ball. He won't get after an official when he gets hit and doesn't get a call. What does it take to finally get a guy to get going in that direction? Because he's obviously got the talent. He's a tremendous player, but it just seems like that this series has taken him way out of his game.
The similarities between LeBron and Durant are that they are kind of laid back. They really try to play the game the right way. If I'm not open, I pass the ball. But in this league, guys that take over games, guys that go and get the ball and demand that, now he's getting double teams, and now he's getting triple teams, and he's got a lot of people watching him, and then he can make plays off of that. He just has to figure it out. Over years of playing like LeBron, and look how long it's taken him. I mean, he's been to the finals before, and last year he lost in the finals because he didn't take over. The year I was with him in 2007, he didn't have a great finals series. But when he learns to do that, like LeBron is having to learn to do that, he'll be more successful, and his teams will be more successful. But how does that happen? I don't know.
And you being a longtime guard in the NBA, playing the point and the shooting guard, what do you think of Russell Westbrook? Can they win with him playing the point?
I have never thought that your leading scorer can be your point guard. It may work for one game, it may work for 2 games, but your leading scorer cannot be your point guard. And he's so explosive and so talented. Yeah, it's great. He went out and scored 45, but they lost. It's spectacular and it's fun to watch, but I just don't think, and I don't think you can name too many teams that have won championships where their point guard, that was their leading scorer every night. I mean, Isaiah Thomas did it probably most recently, but after that, you probably have to go years back to figure that out.
Yeah. David Wesley, longtime NBA player, now coaching the Texas Legends and getting ready to host a basketball camp in Longview, obviously a Longview native. Tell us about your basketball camp. Well,
we've had to move the venue to Forest Park because they're working on the Longview floor. So we've overfilled the camp this year, which is a great problem to have. And it's Friday and Saturday from 9 to 4 and 9 to 2, and we'll be out there teaching them basketball stuff, drills and concepts and things like that. So we're gonna have fun. This is our 10th year, which is exciting, and we're having to continue to do it. We do thank our sponsors and our support in this community, because it is a free camp, and without the community doing their part, it wouldn't be as easy to do this, have this on every year. So we're excited about this year's camp.
Outstanding. Now, and so it's all full up, and you don't have any more room for more players then?
Not this year.
Okay.
I mean, we are over. We like to get about 100, and Right now, we're probably at about 120. So
that's spectacular, though. That's a great response.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a good 10th year.
All right, one more thing before we let you go, David. I want to get your response on this. As the game progresses, what are the things that you see that players just don't do very well anymore that when you guys were playing, you did well? What are some things that seem to be dying in the NBA that you'd like to see come back?
Well, I think, the things that players, and especially your star players, they tend to in some cases, overplay. The team game is what wins, and your star player can, he can handle, he can shoot it, he can do things, but and I think that's the thing that bothers LeBron is, if he goes to the basket and there's two guys open, why wouldn't you pass the ball? And then you get a guy who, maybe a 40% three-point shooter that missed a shot, and everybody says, LeBron, you got to take that shot. That's the thing that I don't agree with, and that's the way he plays the game, but he gets, crucified for it. I always played the game and always tried to play the game the right way, and I don't think, I think that needs to come back a lot more in the game. Just guys not out there for their press and publicity and all that kind of stuff, but playing the game the right way, and that's why I enjoyed watching the Mavericks play last year, because they were a team, and that's how they won their championship.
Do you think that team can be rebuilt quickly enough to compete in the next year?
I don't know. The chemistry is a funny thing, and you can't buy it. You can't, you can't just make it happen. You can't say, well, you did this on this team, so you'll do this for us. And they had that chemistry. They had, the perfect mix of, guys that did the dirty work, superstars, very smart, intelligent players, guys who could come off the bench and score. They just had a really good mix. And the fact that they bought into the defensive side of the basketball, and with Chandler back there controlling the boards, Barea coming off the bench giving the spark, Terry coming off the bench giving the spark, they really had a really good overall team that was built to win. And when you start getting rid of those little pieces that you think aren't important, you start changing the chemistry. And I think that's what they did, and how they get that back, I don't know. You don't just add players to it.
Yeah, you sound like you're already ready for an NBA coaching job.
I think so, but we'll see.
Well, David, we really do appreciate you coming on. Thanks very much. And, again, thanks for doing this camp every year. It's great that you give back to East Texas, and it's good to have you back in East Texas, and we really do appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you. It's always good to be back home.
Good deal. David Wesley, longtime NBA player, former Longview Lobo and Baylor Bear, on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM. Let's check in with Craig Smoke right now. We'll do a Sports Flash.
Thank you very much, Bryan. The BCS Commissioners and Notre Dame Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick have agreed and endorsed a seeded 4-team playoff model for college football that would begin for the 2014 season. The Commissioners' consensus